Every championship has its own story, and we are here to tell them all. Welcome back inside the Calafino Sublimit Lounge. It's time for the Championships 2012-2013 Soccer's Magic. We are here to capture the fourth consecutive and final PASL Championship year, 2012-2013. My name's Kraig Elsten. Thank you so much for joining us here, whether you are watching our video on YouTube or listening to our Soccer's Overtime podcast. I have an illustrious panel of some of the greatest modern soccers in history to talk about a year that is absolutely unforgettable in this franchise's pantheon of championships. Joining me to my left and your camera right, he won his third consecutive PASL MVP, his second finals MVP of 3 so far in his career in 2012-13, and set the all-time goals record for the Soccers and the league that year. Kraig Chiles. Welcome back, Kraig.
Thanks for having me.
To Kraig's left and your camera right is the only man to play in all 48 games of the Soccers record 48-match win streak, the Ironman of the Soccers, M5 Anthony Medina.
Yeah,
Anthony.
Thanks for having me, Kraig.
Appreciate that. Thank you for remembering that microphones help everyone to hear what you say. To his left and your camera right is a man who was first team all-PASL in 2012-13 with 26 goals and 46 points. Mr. Soccer's Magic himself, Brian Farber.
I'm not Soccer's Magic. That's this guy.
No. You started out.
This is together. This is kapow.
And his wonder twin for Soccer's Magic, to his left and your camera right, El Vaquero, Eduardo Velez. Eddie, thank you so much.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
It's going to be a problem.
We're going to have some fun here tonight. So, first things first, we are here at the courtesy of our great friends at Calafino. Calafino Tequila. Go to calafinotequila.com to find out more. We're in the Sublimit Lounge. Find out how you can become a member. So we begin by saying, salud to a fourth championship.
That was good. Cheers, boys. Eddie's juice.
The 14th championship in soccer's history. And joining us behind the camera for that salute is our executive producer and director of these web series, the great Jerry Jimenez. All right, we've got videos, we've got interviews that you've probably never seen before, and we've got the insight of these gentlemen thinking back about a decade back to the fourth straight championship and the 14th in soccer's history. And guys, I wanted to start 2011-12, our last panel a couple weeks ago, amazing panel with you two guys and Chris Toth. And we talked that panel about some of the stories that are never told in terms of how the Soccers stayed together. Because we just think of it as a team that was together all this way, but Brian Farber was almost a Milwaukee Wave, Nick Pereira left, Chris Toth was recruited. And then we told a story about this guy named Kraig Chiles, but Kraig wasn't here. So, Kraig, how close did you come to becoming a not soccer?
It was pretty close. I mean, I remember having that conversation with Stacy, my girlfriend at the time, and we were packed and ready to make the move, and it was to Wichita. And I think I had called Paul Wright and Braden Cloutier at the time, both of which who played for Wichita Wings, for a little bit of advice. And you know, it was partially to do with Soucy calling Phil, but I remember Cheeky and Nate also being involved in that conversation, and you know, got to Phil and helped me, you know, make the decision to stay. And yeah, it was close. It was close, and it would have definitely changed things. And you know, obviously, I look back on it now, and I'm super happy that I made the decision to stay.
I mean, the Wichita Wings at that point, were they trying to make a big move in MISL? Because I kind of feel like a year or two after that, you didn't even know they existed.
They were. That was the year, I think LeBaron Hamilton came into that team that year, and they put together a really competitive team. I think they had Tiguinho and Geisen and a lot of Brazilians. I believe they had a really solid team that year. I think they were trying to put together a piece to be competitive, and you're right. I think that was probably the best year or two they had, and it kind of fizzled out a little after that.
I mean, it would have made perfect sense for somebody from the outside to go, here's a 2-time MVP of a league that, at that time, I mean, we all admit the MASL thought lesser of the PASL. Whether we thought that was right or not, they thought, okay, this was the junior league and we're the big leagues. So from that standpoint, attracting a guy like you, I mean, it would make perfect sense from their point.
Yeah, and you know, part of it was I was participating with the futsal national team at the time in Torrance, and I think Tommy Tanner, LeBaron, obviously Keith Tozer, and a lot of coaches were there watching in on the sessions. And I know a lot of people got looked at there, and I think that was where it sparked a little bit of interest, or maybe reconfirmed what they thought, you know, the potential I may have had. And so, you know, yeah, it was an opportunity for me to look elsewhere. It was flattering at the time. I think we took it seriously, but at the same time, you know, we didn't really want to leave if we didn't have to leave.
Another story I wanted to make sure that we got to before we get deep into 2012-13. I introduced you as the Ironman, Anthony, and that's kind of become one of your big nicknames other than M5. You know, the one guy that appeared in all 48 games of the 48-match win streak. But a story we haven't told yet on these panels was how you were injured at the end of the last game of a season with like the absolute perfect timing for a nasty injury not to miss a game. Could you please tell everybody that story?
Yeah, it was, I think there was maybe less than 10 seconds left on the clock. It was a Open Cup final here in Del Mar, and I just remember laying on the ground, confetti, you know, coming down, and all my teammates stepping over me, and, you know, it was like, you know, let the celebration begin, and there I was, you know, fast forward, you know, half hour or so, and ended up breaking my foot with a Jones fracture. But, yeah, it was an unfortunate injury, but came at the most fortunate time because it, you know, allowed me not to miss any time and then have the surgery and then get back in fitness for the next year or so.
How long did it take you to feel like you were back to 100%?
Probably a couple months. Yeah, I had a great surgeon over UCSD, and, you know, fixed it up, and probably 6 weeks I was, you know, back to jogging and ready to roll.
Anthony Medina, the Ironman, thanks to good timing.
Yes.
Good fortune, good timing. So the Sockers had just run the table. You guys had come off a season where you went 24-0 overall, went 16-0 in the league, 2-0 in the playoffs, won the FIFA World Cup, the FIFA Championship, won the U.S. Open Cup, undefeated season. You come into 2012-13, and this was a very interesting year in the PASL because this was Kevin Milliken's super expansion year for the PASL. The league went from 12 teams to 19 in 1 year. And on one side, you say some of the best and most important clubs that are still in indoor soccer got revved back up that year because Dallas Sidekicks came back into professional indoor soccer. You had RGV, which is kind of the root. You know, Damian was on that team that year, so kind of the route for Monterrey to come back, the route for Sonora to come back. In addition to that, Harrisburg, a team that's still been there to this year. Chicago, a team that the next year would become the number one team in the PASL, and Las Vegas. What did it mean for you guys? Because we've always had a rival team for the Sockers, whether it's been Monterrey, whether it's been Ontario, more recently. Before that, you know, you could look to the California Cougars, and then the Cougars disappeared. It was supposed to be the Anaheim Bolts. That didn't work out. And here came the Las Vegas Legends. Brian, when you saw the kind of club that the Legends were putting together, what were your thoughts?
I remember Vegas being a destination that we wanted to go to. And so in the beginning, it was kind of like, oh, nice, they're going to be on our schedule. That'll be fun. But pretty quickly, you started to see the squad get put together, the conversations around coaching staff. And throughout their time, I mean, they had some big people, some big players on the club. I'm trying to remember the very first squad that we would have gone and faced. I don't remember exactly like who it was at the time, but I do remember them making moves and being like, oh, like they look pretty good, but still lacking maybe some experience.
Yeah. Keeks, Zeke, Guzman, Ricardinho, Felipe, and but especially Felipe, the Tayu brothers, Simontel. There was a group.
Who was the first coach? The very first.
Greg Howes.
Right.
It was
That's-
Housey, yeah.
That's what I thought. So my point would be like they were making moves, and I remember thinking, oh, okay, well you're gonna come at us, especially with somebody like Howes on the bench.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I knew Tovar, I knew Juan and Felipe, so you know what those guys can put together. It's just a matter of like putting together the whole squad, top to bottom, is always a challenge.
And then, Eddie, this was also the first year for the San Diego Sockers to return to the sports arena. At that time, Valley View Casino Center, now, of course, Pechanga Arena, San Diego, and soon to be knocked down and replaced with something else, and we'll be moving to Front Wave Arena, and there's all of that is in the far future. But at this point, the Sockers had spent 3 years at Del Mar Arena, going 27-0, being undefeated, and now a move kind of back to the ancestral home, but also back to a much bigger arena, back to a much higher cost, much bigger pressure. What was the feeling for you guys when you found out you weren't going to be in a cozy 2,000-seat semi-outdoor arena anymore? You were going to the place where Julie V won all those championships.
Yeah, well, like me personally, like when I knew and I found out that we were going back into the Valley View Casino Center at that time, I was happy because I didn't get to play when I signed with the Sockers in 2004.
Right.
I practiced there and never got the chance to play there, right? And that's that's the real home of the San Diego Sockers, right? And going back into that building and with all the memories and all the the legends that I have been playing there and being part of that, that means a lot as a player, and especially for me. I mean, it really means a lot. Was there a pressure? Of course, there's always pressure when you're wearing the crest as the San Diego Sockers, right? But everyone is kind of expected, and everybody knows that when you go back into your old home, you expect to perform. And we didn't disappoint that year either. So that was a good year to come back, to be honest.
Well, I can say from a front office standpoint, we were coming back marketing a 37-match winning streak, marketing a team that had come off an undefeated season, that was a 3-time defending champion, and had a chance to set U.S. professional sports history by going on and winning 4 more games. At that point, if you started 4-0, you were going to set the record. And the PASL did you guys, I'll just say 10 years later, a solid by setting up the structure of the league the way they did. So 19 teams in 4 divisions, and the Sockers played the Pacific Division with Turlock, a new team. They had been provisional the year before. Tacoma, which really was just figuring stuff out. Anaheim, rough year. And the new Sacramento Surge. And that was the Pacific Division, whereas Las Vegas was in the Southwest Division. And so you'd know that you wouldn't have to face them in that opening round. And I thought, particularly when you looked at the opening schedule, it was kind of like, hey, this league's gotten tougher. We're going to let you guys warm up. Because I think it might be pretty good, Brian, for the league if the Sockers win their first few games.
Attention for well, let me back up to what Eddie said, I guess, really quickly is I think there's something to be said about what Phil was putting together at the time, right? Anybody, I guess, in the right position could bring the team back, so to speak, on paper, operate, play games, but Phil had the team back. Like Eddie's point was there's a rich legacy with the Sockers. There's legends with their names in the rafters. There's expectations from the fans when playing in the sports arena. And I think maybe going back into the sports arena was another step in proving where we were, and we were winning, right? So it was validation that, one, we were back in the sports arena and back in front of some fans didn't come to Del Mar. And so they came back when we were in the sports arena. So, I mean, I remember those conversations. But I guess, to your point, warming up in the beginning of the season, knowing the pressure of the games that were in front of us, trying to get to the streak and the number that was always being hung over our head at this point now for the last 20 games was helpful to come out kind of light.
couple of the roster changes for the Sockers going into 2012-13, and there weren't a lot, but a couple of them were important because Miguel Eduardo had been a huge part of your guys' midfield. Essentially, been the number 3 midfielder, maybe the Escoto position, you might say, on a modern team. For the Sockers at that time, he tore his ACL in the preseason. In one of the videos I think we'll show tonight, you'll see him come off the field with a gigantic brace on his knee after a game. He didn't play the whole year. Eric Wonderly, who had his career best season in the perfect year, 2011-12, he had a torn foot tendon, and he didn't play essentially the entire year. And Dan Antoniuk, for one reason and 2 others, was held to 2 games that entire season. So those were 3 really important contributors to the 2011-12, 2010-11, and for Antoniuk all the way back to 2009, of course, clubs. But coming in, Paul Wright came back, right? Had his 1-year dalliance in Anaheim. He was back with San Diego for 1 more year. And M5, what did it mean to you guys? I mean, he was 42 on 43 that year, but to have Paul for 1 more run.
Yeah, and I think at that point, we were, as an organization, we were at a critical point as far as establishing, okay, we're not just around for a year or 2. We made the move to the sports arena, and then, just having a name like Paul Wright, given his history, given his legacy, being back in the squad just, was a great piece to really take us into the next generation of success. So I think that for the younger players, it was great to be around someone of that caliber and history with the club, and also help propel the team to success for years to come. So I thought it was a really important piece in that particular season.
And then Kraig, in addition, there was a rookie on the 2012-13 team, the Rocket, Raimundo Reza. Obviously, you guys have a San Diego State connection, although you weren't there at the same time. You've been friends for years and years. What was it like to welcome the Rocket into the indoor world?
Yeah, it was a blessing, and he took to the game very well, and I think we all knew he was smart enough as a player to transition quickly, and honestly, he was lights out this year for the team, and I think he was a massive addition, and I also think proved, to the organization and some people that players can transition from outdoor to indoor and perform in the first year. I think prior to that, everyone that had come in was, an indoor player coming to support our team, and so, Ray did a great job and really helped us win that championship this year.
So the Sockers open up the 2012-13 year on a 37-match win streak, understanding 3 will tie the all-time record set by the Sioux Falls Storm of indoor football fame, and that 4 wins will set the record. The home opener and the return to Valley View Casino Center came on November 3rd, 2012. The Sacramento Surge were the team in town, an expansion team. We show you these highlights not because of the game. The game was 15-2 San Diego. It was what Phil and I, Phil Salvaggio, who's in the room, and I used to call, and still call to this day, a write your score game. I'll say to him sometimes, this is a write your score game before the game, meaning you could write down on the whiteboard, let's win 4-1, let's win 15-2, let's win 11-6, and you guys can fulfill whatever that number is. Kraig Chiles, 4 goals, Brian Farber, 2 goals, 3 assists. We show these highlights to show you what it felt like, the sounds, the feel, the vibe, as for the first time since 1996, and then 2004 later, the San Diego Sockers are at Valley View Casino Center, back on their ancestral grounds. again, I just want to say, I showed that video because I wanted to show the atmosphere. What do you guys remember, and anyone can take this, about just being back? This was the biggest crowd you had played in front of in 4 years. It would get bigger over the course of the year, but that was a 3345, the attendance for that home opener. So what was that feeling to just be back where Gene Wilrich and Addie Coker and everyone else had created the legacy of this club?
37.
I think you already answered that, Eddie, a little bit. I can answer it. I remember Coach Quintera being very influential in us moving to the sports arena. And I thought it was an opportunity for us to really put the club in a legitimate, viewpoint from the outside looking in. And I know we knew about the history of being in that building, and it meant a lot to a lot of us. And it was bittersweet leaving Del Mar with such success, but at the same time, it was time to create those new memories, and having Paul Wright kind of bridge that gap back to the sports arena, I think was a special moment, and it was super nice to have him come back for the year.
So with that expansion that we talked about before, the Sockers were in a great position. They had won the home opener, and they had a super easy schedule. Real Phoenix and Arizona Storm were next up, and why wouldn't you just have one expansion team in the greater Phoenix area instead of two? It might be more competitive. You might be able to draw an audience. Milliken liked expansion fees. Still does. And as such, 11-5 over Real Phoenix. Club record 18-3 at Arizona Storm. Got the record to 40 and set the stage with national attendance, with Fox Sports Soccer having done a huge profile, with everybody paying attention in all the local networks, and a crowd of over 4,000 at Valley View Casino Center. The Sockers took on Toros de Mexico, trying to set the U.S. professional sports team winning streak record.
You will be our first quarter kickoff goal contest winner.
The Sockers had won their 41st game in a row and set the all-time professional sports record. Of course, you would have 7 more games before you'd have to establish the final number for that record, but over 4,000 in the house that night. So first, Anthony, just your memories of setting the record, the hype, the excitement, and the payoff.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the culmination of the whole streak. Kind of came down to, those last couple games, and especially this one. I think we were all kind of looking forward to getting past that mark, and I think it showed in the way we approached the game, and the fun we were having, and the high scoring goals, and it was great. It was great coming down the stretch there, and it was a long road to get to that point, and the fact that we got there, I think we're all proud of.
Kraig, that was your actual, to this day, you might score 9 next year, but this was your career high game. You scored 8 goals in this game, 8 of the 14, so a solid 60% of the goals scored that night. We saw that lovely lefty volley to finish it off, but on a big night to come through in a big way like that, you would eventually, at the end of this year, be honored as a Star of the Year by the Hall of Champions. What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot, and I remember thinking of this game more as a playoff game than a regular league game. And at the time, I think there were some games that, you could be a little bit more casual with your approach. And I think this was a game where we were super focused and zoned in, and we knew everything was on the line, and we handled business. And so, it was great memories of those years going undefeated and competing and having so many moments where it could have gone the other direction and coming through with the win at the end of the day.
So this segment now, as we head toward the next video, is about the captain of the San Diego Sockers for this club and for the 4 clubs that preceded it, Aaron Soucy. Aaron had, statistically, his best year of his 18-year career in 2012-13. I'll say once again, as we said in the 11-12 panel, Aaron was invited to be on the show. He was personally invited multiple times, multiple people. Aaron could not make it to the show. We would have loved to have had him there. But, Brian, you said some incredible things. Eddie, you said some incredible things in the last panel about Aaron. Kraig, you guys had this amazing relationship. You had a rivalry. You'd have a bet of how many right-footed goals he would score versus left-footed goals that you could score. What did Aaron Soucy mean to you and to this team?
Me and Aaron had a really good relationship, and I think we had a ton of similarities. Both growing up in San Diego and both playing at San Diego State University was the beginning, I think, of our friendship and playing the same position for the Sockers. He taught me a lot about how to play with your back to goal and how to play target forward as a professional indoor player. And I had nothing but great experiences sharing the field with Soucy. And I know he helped mold me into the player that I am today. And so, I look back on it and I think the timing was perfect. And it's similar timing that I'm in right now in my career with Tavoy, and Soucy gave me the freedom to have success. Soucy made the substitutions to get me on the field at the right time. And at that point, it wasn't about Soucy. It was about what was best for the team and the attacking unit in our line. And he catered to me a lot. And, that didn't go unseen. And I'm doing my best now as an older player to return the favor and show, good substitutions matter and getting dominant attacking players on the field when they can perform at their best matters too. And Soucy helped me understand that in a little bit of a different way.
Oh my God, I'm going to set up the next video right now because you're going to love one of the things you're about to hear. Brian.
I'd like to add to that, though. I said something on the panel last week as an example. Like, Soucy was everything that we needed as a leader, as the voice of the team. Sometimes we would have like really, really crazy moments, and Phil would be upset or mad in tight games, and Soucy would be our calming voice. And I think that those lessons learned have been passed on from Soucy to Kraig as a leader, as the captain of our team. Like, there's times where he's talking, and in a crazy moment in a tight game where I'm like, that sounds like exactly. It's just like it brings back vibes of like Soucy would be given a very similar speech in a very similar manner and hitting the same notes and not making it about him, but making it about the bigger moment, the team, the position that we were in at the time, and how to handle business.
So now I bring you, and Dave Evenson was our media partner at the time, Evo Streams Productions. He was great about miking up guys. He mic'd up you, he mic'd up Kraig, mic'd up Anthony, mic'd up all of you guys. For the record-setting game, he mic'd up Aaron Soucy. And we go back to the record setter, not because it was such a spectacular game. We've got so many spectacular games with footage to show you from this year on this video that you're still going to see in the hours to come. We bring this because I feel, and I went back and watched all the videos of Aaron mic'd up, I felt this was just a perfect encapsulation of his on-field leadership and what he said to you guys in those private moments that made him what he is. Here's Aaron Soucy mic'd up against Toros de Mexico.
Right. Hell yeah. Yeah, we don't get this chance many times in our lifetime. We're going to have this for a long time, all right? This is a great group of guys, and it's showing us with our winning streak, all right? Let's keep going out there and do what we've been doing, all right? Team defense first, finish our chances, work together, all right? Let's go. Let's go. We deserve this. We deserve this. Let's go, huh? Sockers. 1, 2, 3. Sockers! Kelly on the field, huh? Let's go, Kel. They got absolutely nothing. Yeah, boy. Nice goal, buddy. Nice goal. Play it a little bit quicker, guys. A little bit quicker.
We're going to play through the middle and have some patience. Okay? We're rushing everything. Wait, patience.
Got you. I'll go D. I'll go D. Beautiful. Very nice. Very nice. Meet a Chiles. Should I just shoot him? Harder, harder. Hey, that's a wide open shot though. He don't want none of you. Go D, go D. Bang it, bang it. Yeah. Nice. Bang it. Yeah. Nice work. Nice finish, baby. Hey, what's that? Inside out. Shit. Hey, want to go one up top? They're going to go box, though. They're going to go box.
They're playing a box and they want to play 2 up top.
We changed it. We changed it and they went diamond. They're not dumb. They know what we're doing.
At the end, they're coming with 2 guys at the very
I know,
top.
we went one up top and they went diamond. And we came back and they switched it again. Let's keep entertaining the fans, man. 6-0, let's keep going, huh? Let's win. 1, 2, 3, win! Hey, you want to come step on it to me?
If they set up a left footer,
Well, it's wide open. Woo! Good call, baby. Good call. Yeah.
See that?
Ah, baby. Yeah, boy.
There it is. Come on.
Hey, hey! 1, 2. Keep going, Blue. Let's go. Good try. Eddie, good work, Eddie.
I think so.
Phil, what do you want? Same thing. I got you. I got you. I might hit one. I might hit one. Keep him honest, and I'm dishing. What? You kidding me? Are you kidding? Kelly, that's horrible call. That's a terrible call. That is a terrible call. That's called a big boy going against a little boy. That's what that is. What are you calling? Dude, you're blowing it before anything even happens, Kelly. These guys are floppers, man. Buena. Buena, Eddie. Yeah! Hell yeah! Run around it like you're gonna hit it. Step on it to me. Yeah? Chiles, go ball. You want this? Play me the rock. Play me the rock. Roll it. Roll it. Hey! Hey! Good shit. What a sub! What a sub! What a sub, bro! Yep. Yeah. Gotta know when to sub, baby. That's how you sub right there. Oh my God. These guys are so bad.
He's been watching you too much.
Jesus.
Coach, but I saw Soucy do it one time.
What are we talking about?
Her hat. Banging it from the corner.
If I just take all the free kicks and set pieces, I want to get like 25 assists.
It's all right.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Not really.
He's getting flustered because you know when you don't want to play, like with the power play.
Well, hey.
I know.
Hey, I was a defensive runner for 3 years. I didn't see one free kick, one power play, nothing. I saw. What a save. I take that back. I was on power play. But every free kick I came off. It's nice.
We just saw some classic Aaron Soucy right there. Eddie, when you just heard all of that from, hey, nice sub, to just the way he was pumping up everybody, to ripping the opponent, to, hey, we deserve this at the start. Just what are your thoughts on Aaron as a captain?
Dude, like, I literally said that the previous segment. Dude, Soucy was a leader, right? I mean, he knew how to talk to us. He knew how to get us engage and focus on the game, and he will like literally with one comment or the one thing, like it will make us everyone click right into what we had to do, right? And it's funny to hear this because like literally I was like we were laughing. Dude, I kind of hear that on Kraig right now every time that I'm like, oh my God, dude, like was that Kraig or was that Soucy? And it's like kind of like one of the lessons that you kind of like go back into and you're like, oh my God, like he really like thought, like teach, like how to like be a leader to Kraig. And that's freaking amazing, right? How can one player being so influential on a player like Kraig? Like honestly, like he's a leader, right? And he was like Kraig Chiles at the moment, and he's still Kraig Chiles, right? You're my boy, man. But like, dude, it's just awesome.
I see Brian has a follow-on.
Well, you have a very similar demeanor, and like, if you know Kraig, Kraig is sarcastic when he wants to be and when he needs to be, but he's also very serious when he needs to be. And when we need somebody to be sarcastic to lighten up the mood, he'll be sarcastic. And when we need somebody to set the tone in the first quarter and be serious with the referees, Kraig does all those things. And those are all the same things that Soucy did, and they're all the same things that he probably picked up a lot of those little nuances of his game from the best, right? I mean, Soucy was an amazing leader. And I think that he was also part of that glue that kept us all going. And like you said earlier, it wasn't about him or his stats. It didn't matter. He just wanted to win. He was there to perform and have fun. And I think that was the best part about Doc. And, we missed that guy.
Well, and Kraig, I'm just going to follow up in this way because I agree with what everyone is saying. You, like he, intelligent. You, like he, incisive. You, like he, sarcastic, humorous, funny, using a moment to take an edge, be serious when you have to. All of those things so very similar between the two of you, but it wasn't that way for you for a while. You had to learn what it meant to be that kind of leader. And just watching this back, I got to agree with what everyone is saying. Like, I feel like Aaron and you, he laid off some serious knowledge on you, and you're laying it off on the generation to come.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely was influential in my career, both, mannerisms and soccer specific stuff as well. And the truth is, once you play 10, 15 years in a sport, I think you naturally pick up leadership skills and it's like, yes, I'm the captain of the team, but at the same time, everybody on this couch has leadership skills and is available to help the team in a bunch of different ways. And I know, we've all jumped in at our specific moments, and I think that's where we found a lot of success, as of late, is sharing that leadership ability and finding the right moment for myself to jump in. And when, I'm tired or unavailable or whatever, somebody else carries the torch. And these are all players that played a lot of years with Soucy and picked up some same traits, and so whether it's Paul Wright or Soucy or Braden or Sean or, players that we played with in the MLS or the NASL or all those other leagues, you pick up a little bit of experience and a little knowledge off of all of them, and it makes you who you are at the end. I just think I picked up, more from Soucy than I may have from almost any other player probably I've played with.
So Kraig Chiles wound up with 56 goals, a career high this year, as Aaron Soucy wound up with 32 assists, a career high this year. And out of that record win, the Sockers went just on a little bit of a roll. As we had talked about earlier, the league at this point had some really good teams in formation and had some really not so good teams in formation. Tacoma was starting to figure it out, but not quite yet. Raphael Cox was there, Juice Cox was there, but they didn't have quite the core that we've seen, a little bit of it. The next game was 15-5, Kraig Chiles 6 goals, Kraig Chiles 25 goals in 5 games, no big deal. Sockers 5-0. Then Real Phoenix at home, 9-3. Sockers win their 43 in a row, go to Tacoma again, 5 goals and an assist for this guy, 2 and 3 for Soucy, 14-4. Tacoma loses to the Sockers. Anaheim comes to town, 14-3. Sockers win that game. That was December 22nd, 2012. And at that point, guys, you capped, Brian, I'll go to you for this, a 27-0 2012 U.S. Open Cup, FIFA, and PASL. 27-0 in which you outscored the opponent 302 to 110. The best season in soccer's history from the 80s to now.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was all part of the transition of, again, kind of moving into the sports arena. Eyes were on us from the streak from the year before, defending champions 2 years in a row, Open Cup champions. Like, we felt untouchable. And I can remember every single game being like, let's go. Like, it was time to just, whoever was in front of us, we're going to beat them. And at the time, we can talk about all the PASL, you know, the 2 different leagues competing against each other. We felt like we could beat anybody at any point in time. And I think what was cool was we were now the legends were coming back and hanging out with us in the locker rooms, you know, hanging out with Julie V before every single game. And that became the norm. And it became like this, we started getting used to it a little bit. But I remember also thinking early in the season, we still have a lot of work to do. The streak was going, the title was on the line. Like, we were still taking care of our business the same as any other game.
And this was, to be very honest, and to this day, the absolute height of the Sockers front office from 2009 to this point. And whether it was Coach John Quintera, Aaron Soucy, Joe Totino, myself, the folks that were working in that front, Spencer Ishii, who was working in our tickets at that time, the streak fueled popularity, fueled notoriety, led to attendance. And game 46 of the streak was a come from behind, sloppy, if we were being frank, kind of crappy, 11-7 win over Turlock that at that time set a club record 4,680 at Valley View Casino Center to see the Sockers beat Turlock for the 46th straight win. That was January 5th. That was Legends Night. Brian Quinn, who was being inducted to the Breitbart Hall of Fame that year, the same year you were Star of the Year, he was there. We honored, Legends Night. It was a great night. And then the Sockers went on the road for a 3-game road trip. Las Vegas, Harrisburg, and Dallas. The first game was a standalone. A trip to Sin City to take on the Las Vegas Legends. Now, this would be the first matchup in the history of the San Diego Sockers and Mayor Cohen's Las Vegas Legends, playing at the Orleans Arena, a beautiful arena, and at that time, very new and very posh. Not on the Strip, but just a little bit off the Strip, a gigantic casino. And this was a game with the Sockers having won 46 in a row that Las Vegas advertised and marketed to their fans as the game where the streak would definitely end. Check out this promo video that they got to build up their crowd. So the stage was set. all of the Las Vegas youth soccer clubs were in Orleans Arena, a crowd of around 5,000. We were staying in the Orleans Hotel and Casino and making the quick walk across from the hotel rooms to the arena for this match. The Sockers and the Legends. Could Las Vegas pull it off? They said in their promo, it will happen. History. What happened? One of the greatest games in the history of the San Diego Sockers franchise, dating back to 1978. These highlights we bring to you now.
To Tayu now, who has 12 goals and 3 assists. He is a burly Cameroonian forward, standing at about 6'2", 220. He looks like he's going to be a force up front. On the defensive yellow line is Berto Garcia for the Legends. A backheel pass on the far wall. Here comes Ricardinho in on goal. A shot and a score! They get Eric Guzman. He had a weaving run left to right, and then a diagonal shot that beat Riley Swift. The Legends are on the board. Fan base here wanted an early goal to get excited. That's what they have. Sockers play the restart forward. It's Eddie Velez with a sidewall pass to himself. It comes to the far corner. Ball caroms out to Chiles to the top of the crease. It's Reza. Left-footed shot. He scores! Raimundo! The Sockers answer right back for Raimundo Reza. His 5th goal of the season. The assist to Chiles at 9:37 to tie the game at 1. And Enrique Tovar right back out on the pitch to take this free kick. 2-man wall for San Diego. Tovar crosses. Shot and a goal! Guzman's got another! Tovar on the set piece. Crossed it to Guzman on the left wing. And he shot it over the left shoulder of Riley Swift and into the net. Guzman's 10th of the year. A restart goal from Tovar. 8:58, the time of that goal. 2-1 Las Vegas. They're right back on their wall. There's 54 seconds to play in the first quarter. Tovar and the Legends on a power play. Here's one to the near corner. Goal pass top of the crease. And Farber was able to track it down, but Ricardinho takes it away from him. He steps to the ball top of the crease. Left-footed shot. Wide to right. Rebound. Goal! Felipe Gonzalez puts it in and does a salsa dance at midfield as the Legends convert a power play and take a 3-1 lead on San Diego. Bench. Defensive midfield. Long ball forward. Aim trying to play it in the near corner. Sutton is right there on his hip. Double team comes down for San Diego. Stepping out. Aim. Shot the goal! 2 defenders for San Diego could not contain Emmanuel Aim. 3 straight for Vegas. The biggest deficit the Sockers have faced all year. They're down 4-1. 43% of the power plays against them they stop. 57% they concede. The Sockers must convert. The power play begins. It's Rivera to Chiqui Luna at the yellow line. Chiqui and the Sockers down 4-1. It's Rivera, left-footed shot. What a save! Sanchez, a curving strike by Diego. Nava. And then off the bench was O'Connor to knock down that loose ball. It's up in the air. Offensive midfield. Sockers can run on it if they have numbers. Farber to Soucy. He scores! San Diego Sockers goal! Aaron Soucy, the team captain. After a loose ball was taken away, Brian Farber crossed it from far post to near, and Soucy buried it home. It's a 4-2 game. Time of goal, 6:16, second quarter. Let's tries a sidewall pass to skip past Ricardinho. Sanchez plays it with his feet around the glass. Ricardinho lofts it up in the air, and the Legends are able to come out with it, and a touch springs Ricardinho on left wing. He's got a runner on right wing. He shoots a save by Swift. One of the best saves I've seen from Riley in 3. Between 2 players, plays it back to Roberto. Now back to the top of the crease. Rivera trying to turn to the right foot. He plays it off the wall to Roberto. Shot blocked. Blocked up into the air, still in the Sockers attacking zone. Rivera to Farber. He scores! Farber's got the goal! And Diego scooped that ball, loose ball off the far wall, and in one motion, dragged it with his right foot. A centering pass that Farber converted. The Sockers are down by just 1. 4-3 on Farber's 16th of the year. And that's a call I've seen earlier in the game. Ball was won by Velez. to Cheeky. Down low to Soucy. Near corner, Aaron Soucy, Soccer's captain. Double team comes. Bouncing in was Guzman to take it away for the Legends to Ricardinho. Ricardinho dancing across midfield. Steps past Velez. Comes in, top of the crease, rolls it out. Shot and a goal! Perfect pass by Ricardinho, possessing across 3 lines and feeding on left wing to Felipe Gonzalez, who does his second salsa dance tonight. And the Legends are back up 5-3. Diego will get a top of the box free kick scoring chance here. Well, that could be a break. And let's see if the Sockers can capitalize. A free kick, their first of the game. Top of the box, 6:24 third quarter. Cheeky Luna steps up, shoots, scores! Cheeky! Luna's got the restart! It's a 1-goal game. Slotted it, upper 90. Tucked it inside the crossbar and left post. Ball to Soucy with under 2:30 to go in the third. Sockers down 5-4. Soucy plays it into the attacking zone. Far corner, Farber with Copeland on his back. Brian has it dispossessed from behind. Runs over Frank Tayu. Ball comes loose into the crease, and it's kicked out by Sanchez to midfield where Eddie Velez tracks it down. Eddie to right on the far wall. Paul to Farber straight away with Chiles in the crease. To Kraig Chiles, he shoots, he scores! Kraig Chiles has tied the game! And a big fist pump in front of the 7th man. 5-5, 2:03. Now you know the next goal must win it. It's Swift. Crosses yellow line to Eduardo Velez. At the edge of center circle, Eddie just chips it into the far corner. Running on Farber. Heads on goal to Soucy, who shot it wide to the right. Farber crossed to the far post to Soucy, who shot it wide to the right. Ricardinho at midfield. Cuts it, and Velez is there straight away to take it away. Here's Velez across midfield. 1:05 to go. 5-5 tie. Eddie into the near wall. Off the goal. Into the middle of the crease. It's deflected and cleared out by Berto Garcia. Not a breath. God dang it.
Now back to the San Diego Sockers on ESPN 1700.
5-5 tie. 31 seconds to play, fourth quarter, and the Sockers will corner kick from the near corner attacking zone. Aaron Soucy trying to send the Sockers to their 47th straight win. To Chiles, skipping shot out to Velez, kick save, rebound in the crease, and Sanchez grabs it. 5-5 with 22.8 to play in the third quarter. Thank you, dear. Had to ask an usher to give me a drink of water. I am out of voice almost. It'll be a goal throw for Sanchez out of this timeout. 22.8 remaining in the fourth. Sudden death overtime looming in the future unless someone nets a golden goal and a stunner. The throw for Sanchez at midfield. Lobs it up at the yellow line. Up in the air. Frank Tayu. Farber chips it now. Defensive midfield headed forward. Roberto heads it. Velez tries to kick it out. There's 8 seconds to play. Uzi Tayu just boots it out of play, and the Sockers will get one free kick from defensive midfield. There's 6.1 left in regulation. And now what? Oh, Greg Howes, the Legends coach, was leaning out over the field. All right, the whistle sounds. Here comes the free kick. It's Rivera just putting it to the edge of the crease. Back heel Chiles. And Farber. He scores! He scores! He scores! Golazo! Brian Farber! 2.2 seconds remaining. The Sockers are going to do it. They pull it out of the fire in Sin City as Brian Farber heads one with under 3 seconds to play. Unbelievable! Farbs, you're the man. A sixth attacker goal with 2 seconds left. The fans are stunned. The Sockers will win this game. It was Chiles, a back heel off the goal glass, and Farber headed it home. Just like he did to beat Anaheim in the Sockers' last 1-goal win. Brian Farber from Chiles. 2.2. Are you kidding me? A beleaguered fan base is filing out of the Orleans Arena. They hope to find better luck on the craps table tonight because the Sockers have crapped out the Legends. 6-5. Restart at midfield. They will play the goalie forward. There are 2.2 seconds left. Tovar rolls it right wing. They never started the clock. 1 second. Farber takes it away. The game is over! The San Diego Sockers. Brian Farber jumps up on the low wall to celebrate with the Sockers fans who saw one of the most thrilling games in 4 years of PASL action. Down 4-1 in the second quarter. Down 5-3 in the third. The Sockers score the last 3 unanswered.
Guys, I got to tell you, that's one of my favorite Sockers games of all time. It was a huge crowd. It was a different arena. It was so professional. It was so exciting. There was a crispness to the night, from the video production to everything else. They had you on the ropes. Frank Tayu is in the game. Uzi Tayu is in the game. Zeke Sanchez is in the game. Luis Guzman's in the game. Felipe Gonzalez is in the game. Guys who would be rivals or teammates for years to come. And on a note of personal, one of my favorite calls of all time for the San Diego Sockers, a beleaguered fan base heading to the exit, hoping for more luck at the craps table because the Sockers have crapped out the legends tonight, 6-5. That was win 47, pardon me. That was win 47 of the 48-game win streak. But it was game 1 of a 3-game road trip, because the next weekend, the Sockers would head out first to Hershey, Pennsylvania. We'd hang out in a Best Western and go check out Hershey Town the next morning, and then take on the Harrisburg Heat before traveling to the Dallas Sidekicks. Game 48 of the 48-game win streak would be in Harrisburg, 10-3, highlighted by...
The middle of the park. Reza touches it to Chiles. Chiles to the yellow line. Give and go back to Reza. He shoots off the post left. A great give and go. Now a loose ball to the middle of the park. And Farber, he scores! Bicycle kick Farber! Oh my goodness! Brian Farber just bicycle kicked it from the top of the crease. Golazo for Farber. It's 4-1. An unbelievable goal by Brian Farber. First, he tracked down a loose ball in the crease, and he fired it, a point-blank save by Kern. Then, as the ball was deflected up in the air, he watched it and did the bicycle kick. Kicked it over the top of his head and put it in goal for his 18th goal of the season.
Farbs, your best goal?
No.
Hold on. I witnessed another one before that one.
Against Waltman?
Against Waltman in Detroit. I was like,
That was on the
my
highlight
God.
video.
It was on Fox Sports. It was on ESPN. I was like, oh my God, dude. Like, Farber got like off the freaking, like high. He was like, oh my God, like Farber. Like, it was like, he was flying.
Above the rim.
Yeah, it was like, oh my God, Flash, did you really did that?
So that one was just okay.
Yeah, it was good, but I mean, you asked.
How many times have you tried to bike versus bikes successful?
Honestly, I didn't have grass as a kid, and so I used to. This is going to tell a lot about me. I would throw my soccer ball up on the garage, and I had a 2x4 across the top of the garage, and it would roll down, and the ball would hit the board and pop up, and I would be jumping on my trampoline, and I would side volley it or bike it into the garage over and over and over and over. Another garage, a different garage. And it was like what I practiced. And so if you throw a ball up in the air, I can get my foot on that. Like, I can get my foot on that more than I can get my head on it.
Incredible. Incredible. And why we have loved Brian Farber since 2010 here in San Diego. But the road trip wasn't over. The Sockers were in the capital seat of Pennsylvania for that 10-3 win over Harrisburg, the 48th straight victory for the San Diego Sockers. But they would head to Allen, Texas, the Allen Event Center, the Dallas Sidekicks, a team back, a legacy franchise back with big backing, with a solid owner, with a great roster, And now the Sacramento Surge and the Anaheim Bolts and the Turlocker Express are in the rearview mirror. It's a time to take on a real team in a real arena in a real situation. And we've got the highlights of the incredible finish of this game. But first, Kraig, just the thoughts of coming into that game and the way Jamie Lovegrove played that game. He had 4 goals against you guys in front of a crowd of about 5,000 people.
Yeah, honestly, I think that was Jamie's coming out party. And I we talked about that game 10 years later together, and I think that's where he really proved himself and feels like he fully made the transition to indoor soccer. And so I remember leaving that game and being like, dude, the one guy had 4 goals and completely kept him in the game. But we knew it was going to be a tough test, and that Dallas team was no joke, and they had a lot of experience. But we still, I think, felt confident we could get in there and win the game.
It was a back-and-forth game. It was a game that was either tied or 1 goal plus or minus the whole way. There was a critical moment in the fourth quarter and late in the fourth quarter when there was a timeout, and then there was a question. Did the Sockers have any timeouts left? Would it be a shootout? Would it be a power play against? And you guys wound up conceding to be 1 goal down with just seconds left. The Sockers had to pull the keeper. Riley Swift was out. Aaron Soucy was the 6th attacker. San Diego needed to get to their most desperate moment. They're on the road in front of 5,000 people at Allen Event Center, a 48-match win streak on the line. And with seconds left, they're down by 1.
Saku is pacing out. Tattoo. Saku is pacing out the 6 paces, the man off the ball. You see Tattoo, the nervous moments just before the timeout. We're ready for the restart now. Nick Stavro out of his own end. Drives it all the way to the corner for Sean David. Keep it there, Sean. Keep it there. 18 seconds remaining. David keeping it down in the San Diego end. Soucy grabs it, distributes to Luna. Oh. Here's Farber. Chiles with the equalizer. Do you believe it? With 6.7 seconds left. Chiles scores the equalizer. San Diego on the counterattack has leveled the match 5-5.
I got to tell you guys the truth about this. 5,000 people in the Allen Event Center. It's an open arena setup. I'm in the corner. I'm losing my mind when Chiles scores from Farber. Everyone turned around. Like 500 people turned around to look at me at that moment because everyone else went quiet, and I'm just screaming, score, score, soccer's magic, ah! At that moment, I thought you would never lose forever. I thought you would never lose for the rest of my life, that I would die and the team would still be undefeated on a 600-game winning streak because there were 15 seconds left. You were on the opposite side of the field, no advantages whatsoever, trailing by 1, and it became Soucy, Cheeky, Farber, Chiles, goal. And Brian, you got trucked in a way that I've rarely seen without a whistle being blown.
Yeah, well, first off, when the ball was in the corner, I remember thinking, oh my God, how long is the ball going to be in the corner? It was taking forever. And when I saw it squeak through, I knew Soucy, I don't know if everybody knows this, but Soucy prides himself on having a good arm. Like, he can throw the ball. So as soon as he got the ball, Soucy, I didn't even hesitate. I was out, and luckily he saw Cheeks, and Cheeks saw the flick, and Chiles kept going. And I actually I was at full speed, obviously, and I took a long touch. And I remember thinking, oh, like, I don't want to say it on the air, but oh God, like that's it. Like, that could be the end of this game. The guy's going to clear it. Whoever's the defender is going to step up and clear it out. My determination was not going to let that happen. And I knew where Kraig was, and I knew that all I had to do was get him the ball. And I did that, and yeah, did I get smashed? Yeah, but would I do it again? 100 times over.
Kraig, you almost injured yourself like 3 times on that celebration, but when you watch that back, what does it trigger inside you?
You know, it's funny. Upon reflection, I'm pretty sure I slipped on a bunch of Dallas sidekick spit from the bench because you drink the water, you kind of spit it there, and right next to somebody's bench is normally a fairly slippery spot. So it was the wrong place to pivot. But when I look back on that video, the first thing that immediately pops in my head is that we over-celebrated the tying goal and we blew it a little bit later. And I think it was a learning moment for a lot of us that, you can battle your way into the overtime situation, but it kind of resets. And I think we went in on this epic high as if we were going to walk into an overtime win, and we got caught, a couple minutes later. So it was a learning experience for us. But, I remember Farber passing the ball and me thinking I wanted to hit it down. I wanted to hit it low. I didn't want it to bounce into me and me sky the last ball over the frame. And so it was like, okay, if Sagu makes a save, he makes a save. And if I sneak one in, I sneak one in. And before I knew it, I was rolling around in Dallas's spit on the side of their bench like a buffoon. I got up as quick as I could and got the hell out of there.
Well, indeed, there was overtime left to play. And to the day I die, I'll remember the next day being at the airport waiting for the Southwest flight and having Aaron say to me as we were getting in the line, if only I had kept it under the crossbar. Because in overtime, he smashed the crossbar on a great chance, a ball that just spilled to him, right, kind of mid-top box, blasted the crossbar. And what followed was the number one moment in Dallas Sidekicks 2012-13 history as they promoted, as you will see.
Sean David on a breakaway. It's a game-winning goal.
It's in. His third time.
Sean David has scored the game-winning goal and ended the San Diego Sockers 48-game winning streak. The Sidekicks win in overtime.
Brian?
Yeah. We can discuss it all day long. The way I remember it, one, we tied it. We had the momentum. We were going in overtime. They weren't going to beat us no matter where we were, their field or ours. And if you recall, you had the ball in the corner. M5.
Yes.
Chiles was on the field. And you got slide tackled. And at the time, the league didn't allow slide tackling. I literally stopped, looked at the ref, and was like, okay, I'm like going to set up for a free kick, and we're about to win this game because they're going to go down a man. And the ref let it play on. I'd like to see the play. I don't know if you have it. I would like to see it because I recall it being a slide tackle. We all kind of like looked at the ref like, what an idiot this guy just slide tackled Medina. And you know how he is with the ball. So he like got out of it, fell, sold it. It was a foul. It was 2 minutes. It was our ball, and it was a power play. It's a wrap. And then they counterattacked the other way, and Sean David got the goal, and it was like the ref couldn't reverse it because he had already blown it so poorly, like during the match by letting it play. I'll go to my grave on that one. I'll drop somebody from Dallas if I have to.
I remember how mad you were at the ref. Yeah.
Yeah.
The owner.
Dude, I would have taken down the entire team.
The owner, in fact.
The owner, too.
They could all
get it. I think that was the word. Luckily, Merck was there to save their asses. I'll stop.
That was the game, wasn't it?
It was.
That was the game. That was the game.
I almost fought the owner in the back.
Oh my God!
Rolled his bag.
You just didn't hear that. Brian Farber almost fought the owner of the Sidekicks at the end of that match. I do remember that. I've always known Brian doesn't like to lose. It's why he only sometimes comes to our golf tournament appearances, but we love him nonetheless. Love him nonetheless. So that was it, guys. But M5, you were there for all of them. You guys won 48 straight matches. Like, honestly, how stupid is that? That's ridiculous. You should win 4 or 5 in a row and then lose. Like, maybe 9, you're really good. Maybe 18 out of 20. Maybe 21 out of 24. All of these are amazing things, amazing accomplishments. You guys went 48-0. At some point, you have to send the end of a streak. You have to end it. It can't last forever. When you think about that now, you went from the end of 2010 to January of 2013 without losing a match.
Yeah, and I think looking back at it, that's the amazing part of it. I mean, you string together 5, 10, 15 wins in a row in any league, in any situation, it's impressive. So for us to do it for that long was truly something I don't think we'll really understand, until further down the road. But especially, when the streak ended there, we didn't really understand, how special of a run that was. And as these guys mentioned, that game didn't sit well with us, for many days and months to come, and that stuck with us for the rest of the season. But that just showed the mentality of all these guys and what we were putting together is like we demanded to win every game. And yeah, we had some lucky bounces and things go our way to put us in that position. But, it was truly an amazing run and just special to be a part of, but definitely a product of all of our hard work and, mentality, doing something special.
Wouldn't have happened without any of the 4 of you on this bench. Eddie, I saw you fidgeting. What do you got to say?
No. I was just like trying to check the
just making sure. Just making sure. So, but here's the thing. That was January 27th, 2013. You went from December 28th, 2010 to January 27th, 2013 without losing a game. A game! But the next game was at home against the Sidekicks. A chance for revenge. A place where the Sockers since 2009 had not lost at home. 37 games in a row. But Dallas came to town, and the Sidekicks were looking to just break every one of y'all's streaks for all time. This was a game that was spectacular. Just like the Vegas game, this was one of the games of the franchise for the San Diego Sockers. It was in front of a crowd of over 4,000. It was a very tense and defensive first half, first 3 quarters, and then everything went crazy at the moment when Riley Swift scored.
A Let's Go Sockers chant starts at the Valley View Casino Center. It's Swift, another long ball forward. He put it right on goal. Oh, it's in! It's in! I can't believe it! Riley Swift just got a goal! Riley Swift just got a goal! Sagoo, a hot ball that he knocked down carelessly at his crossbar, and he knocked it into his own net. And Riley Swift has scored! Ha ha ha! 3-2 San Diego! His first in PASL play. The Sockers lead it 3-2 on a gift and a miracle. Unbelievable.
At that moment, the Sockers led 3-2, but Shamu would score on a set piece to make the score 3-3. And early in the 4th quarter at Valley View Casino Center, Riley Swift conceded an own goal. The score became 4-3 Dallas, and that score held for minutes and agonizing minutes until the very final minutes of the match, when it looked like a team that had won 48 in a row might lose 2 in a row to the same team away and at home. What followed next, this is where the phrase Soccer's Magic was born. It started with a Sagoo mistake in the box. It led to Zé Roberto.
Straight away. There are 90 seconds to play. Velez heads it on the right wing to Cheeky. Cheeky crosses to Diego.
Diego lines up a left-footed bullet to the far post, and Chiles couldn't put it in. And it goes out of play. A goal throw for Dallas. 1:22 to go. An unbelievable mistake by San Diego will cost them their perfect record all time at home. Unless they can come up with something really crazy. A giveaway! And it's over. No, a handball. On the near wall in front of the seventh man, Sean David took it away from Zé Roberto, beats Aaron Soucy with a shot, but a handball had been called for the fourth team foul on Dallas. It's still 4-3. It's Rivera in front of the San Diego bench. To Aaron Soucy straight away. 65 seconds to go. To the far corner to Chiles. Knocks it down. Back out to left point to Rivera. Aaron with 60 seconds to play. Down 4-3 at home. It's Luna to Soucy. Soucy to Rivera. Diego fakes the left-footed shot. Soucy to Cheeky on right wing. Crossing in the air. Segou in the middle of the crease. Roberto scores! Segou tried to take it away, and he dropped it in the middle of his crease, and Zé Roberto scored it, and the Sockers are level! Unbelievable!
The Sockers had tied it, but in addition to everything else, with Dallas complaining about everything that happened, 3 yellows were issued to create a blue card for the San Diego Sockers. They had a power play to end the game in a 4-4 tie.
The own goal at 2:26 put the Sockers down, put all of our hearts in our throats, and Roberto from Chiles, when Segou jumped up and couldn't hold it, now Tattoo's out on the field. He's trying for a 4th yellow and a matching set with the candelabra. 38 seconds to go in regulation. Segou long ball forward. No mistake, Sockers. Pops off a seam in the glass, headed by Martin into the corner, and a foul on David for pushing. The 4th team foul on the sidekicks. 1:51 on this power play. Sockers ending regulation on a power play. 30 seconds to go in a 4-4 tie. It's Roberto to Soucy. Offensive midfield. 20 seconds to Luna. Luna coming in on the red line. Down low, Chiles. Chiles shoots wide to the right. Off the glass is Eddie. On right wing with 10 seconds to go. It's Velez out straight away to Soucy. 8 seconds to go in regulation. Soucy, Chiles, heads it off the goal glass. Medina can't get a shot away. It's to Velez. He shoots. He scores. He scores. He scores. He scores. Eddie Velez has won the game on the last second. There is no time left. The game is over. The Sockers win it. Sockers magic. Thank you, dear. Eddie Velez, with no time on the clock, put it in the crease. The Sockers have pulled it out. There is a full-on argument. Tattoo and Memba and Ellis and David are all jawing in the official's box. There's 1 second on the clock. They think it didn't go in time. We just saw the replay. It did. It did. It went in with 1 second. A red card to Tattoo. Velez throws it in the stands. The ceremonial ball. 1 second. And the Sockers will beat the Sidekicks 5-4 tonight.
One of the most dramatic games in the history of this franchise, dating back to 1978. It was finished by Eduardo Velez at allegedly 0.00.1 seconds. and that's what we're going to say for the story. Eddie, your memories of this amazing moment.
Dude, it was just like, it felt like I didn't know if I could celebrate or not. I knew that the ball was in the goal, but the time was like kind of like up, and I was like, should I jump? Should I just like go wave to my wife, my kids? I didn't know. I was like kind of like it was a combination of a lot of emotions. Medina, by the way, thank you for that assist, man.
Anytime, Manny.
But dude, it was a great moment. It was a great memory. That was a battle. That was a great game. By the way, that was the first game that I think, and the only game that we started with the goal, with my goal, and we finished with my goal, which was like something that I kind of remember.
To keep your own stats?
No, but
Yeah, don't worry. There were 17 Kraig Chiles games that went exactly that way.
First and last,
Plus
it's
4 in the middle, but yeah.
That's how about how you start and how about you finish.
A good game sandwich.
Yeah, it's no, dude, like it was just like epic, right? It was a great moment. I was jumping like freaking little kid, and it was like kind of like a little payback from the game that we had the week prior, right? In Dallas.
And to put a little context on it, I mean, I think we all can see now too, and I know he's over here, but we had lost in Dallas, and then Phil's mom had passed away, and then Phil had left to go do the whole funeral service and had come back to the kickoff of that game.
Yep.
Right? And so I think we all felt a special like feeling in that building, and there was a little bit more on the line than our loss to them or the streak or any of that, and I think that carried us through a little bit. But I remember that being part of the outcome of this game a little bit.
So the Sockers won this incredible match. The team had gone through this remarkable stretch of matches that included 48 in a row, Escape from Sim City, Farber's Bike, the Dallas match times 2. The rest of the regular season, a bit of a fait accompli. San Diego beat Anaheim 10-6, in which Kraig set the PASL goals record. Went on to face Arizona, write your score game, turned out to be 16-2. Took on Toros de Mexico, write your score game, turned out to be 15-9. And San Diego went into the playoffs 15-1. But this would be the first PASL year that would include a home and away series. First round would be 2 legs with a mini game if it would be 1-1. The Sockers would face the second place team in the Pacific, Turlock Express, the team that went 9-7. It was literally the best year in Turlock Express history. And they would face one another in the first round. Problem is, Turlock's field still is, unfit for a major league match. So, Phil Salvaggio and the Sockers and the Express and Art Polito came to an agreement. Game 1 would be in San Diego instead of Game 2. And Game 2 would be in Las Vegas, the Legends home field, Orleans Arena. So San Diego essentially gave up home field advantage in order to have no games in Turlock. The only way this would mess up would be if Turlock could beat San Diego in San Diego. That would never happen. But the Sockers leading Turlock 8-3 in the third quarter, leading Turlock 11-7 in the fourth quarter, would find themselves 11-11 in the fourth quarter and overtime at home against Ivan 4-goal scoring Campos and the Turlock Express. And the game would go to golden goal and go 8 minutes into golden goal. Holy crap. This actually happened, Sockers fans.
Riley Swift to the near wall to Diego Rovira. Diego bends a long one. It's over the head of everyone. It comes off the far corner glass. It's chipped up by Belmonte over the goal glass, but I guess it was last touched by Belmonte. It's a corner kick for San Diego. Far corner kick coming for the Sockers. Oh, with all these vets, a set piece. You'd love to see it come through.
Yeah, we worked on these all week in practice, so hopefully one of these in this overtime period can send us
Soucy,
home with a
Chiles, score!
Golazo! Sockers win! Chiles hat trick! Golden goal!
That's a huge moment for us. Going to Vegas, one leg up, so.
Kraig Chiles pots home the game winner from Soucy, a restart, 8:31. San Diego remains undefeated. And I'm ready to collapse onto Chad Haggerty in utter relief as the San Diego Sockers blow a 5-goal lead and still win it, 12-11 in full time.
Kraig, I remember going into that game, walking into the arena going, well, this is a fait accompli. Write the score game. Sockers are going to win 15-2, 13-6, whatever we want to write on the. You were up 8-3. This could have been the worst game in soccer's history, and yet you pulled it out.
Yeah, I think this was vintage stomping around Kraig Chiles, pissed off for about half of this game. I remember starting the game very well and scoring a goal early and building like in team success. And then I could still remember the volley the kid hit from the crease and those 3 or 4 goals that they put on us really quickly that kind of caught us off guard in a really tough 5 to 7 minutes. And all of a sudden the game was tied up. But, yeah, you know, we got into overtime and relied on some of the free kicks and dead balls we had been working on. But I do remember being frustrated with the outcome of that second half in overtime for sure.
Yeah, honestly, it was like we were on the greatest roll of all time, and the semi-pro team was going to come into town and defeat the Sockers. Did not happen, and I'll just stay with Kraig briefly because the second leg of this series, this was a best of 3, was in the Orleans Arena. The next game, you flew, they drove. 13-4 was the final, and this was your playoff career high, 7 goals.
Yeah, I remember. I think whether we physically had the advantage from flying, I think that helped us, but I think we mentally felt, you know, superior in the moment because we were getting on a quick flight and they were going to have to battle through a 5 or 6 hour, you know, drive on heavy legs. And so I think that gave us a physical advantage, but it also gave it that extra mental advantage to make sure we took care of business over there in a big arena.
So the Sockers were victorious 13-4, as we mentioned. They were on to the semifinals. It would be a 4-team, 2-day affair at the Valley View Casino Center, much like we had seen in previous years of the PASL. But there was unfinished business first because the Sockers were also trying to be a four-peat in the U.S. Open Cup. The Sockers had won it in 2009, 2010. They had won it in 10-11. They had won it in 11-12. And in 12-13, the final for the first time, for the second time, would be on the road. They had won it in Cincinnati in 2011-12 to win the iPads, win the bet. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. This time it would be at the Martindale Arena against the Detroit Waza Flow, the U.S. Open Cup final, a game that wound up being the first ever trophy game in the Phil Salvaggio era that the San Diego Sockers did not take the silverware home. 7-6 was the final score of that game. All of you guys were there at the Martindale Arena. There was about just under 2,000 fans there. The ceiling was about 18 feet ahead of the floor on that night. So I'll open it to any of you guys for memories of a 7-6 loss and the first ever silverware loss for this team.
Sorry, Eddie. I'm going to take it there. I have a vivid memory of this game, and we talked about it last week briefly, but we saved it. Was maybe my memories quickly try to forget games that we lose, because I don't remember the details of the loss, but I can vividly remember a very well-connected punch from a 1 Eddie Velez. It was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen in a game live, and the ref was right there, and it was a no call, and it was the end of the game, and it was, I'll never forget that, and we gave him a hard time about it last week, but that for me was the number one thing that stuck out, other than it was very tight, and they got a bit lucky, and we were a bit unlucky, and, you know, Detroit was pretty good at the time, so they deserved the win, I guess.
Eddie?
I have no comment about that. No,
I don't remember the punch.
It was just like weird situation.
What had happened was
so what had happened. Well, now it was just a weird situation. There was this player. The previous year, he was playing as a goalie. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
we were talking about
Quinn,
it.
yeah.
And he was the one that started with this triangle, whatever, celebration.
Quinn, yeah.
Yeah, in the final. And I don't know. I had kind of like weird feelings against that guy, to be honest. Mike Dircillo receives the ball, plays the ball to this dude, to this forward. I don't recall his name. He lays off. Dircillo finishes. He scores. I go for the tackle against the forward. We both go on the ground. And as Mike Dircillo scores, I'm getting up. And I looked. They scored. And everyone is like running that way. And I see the forward like on the ground. And I don't remember what happened.
And that's the last part of my memory.
And I don't remember what happened, but I remember that everyone said to me like, wow. I was like, okay. I was like, okay. And
Maybe you crossed the line.
I did. I literally crossed the line. I accept that. I crossed the line.
You'd like to apologize to Quinn?
I would like to apologize to the whole Detroit Ignition.
Yeah, right?
No, to Detroit was a flow organization. And was it Quinn?
Yeah, we do. Remember the guy's name? What was his name?
With the O, yeah. Quinn was his last name.
Yeah,
I forget his first name.
that was him. And he took it like a champ.
Took it in the nose.
It was like, it was two of them, you know? And I just like walk off the field. I just walk off the field, and then it was like, I was like, oh, I just did that. It was like, I mean, we lost.
Emotions were high.
Yeah, emotions were high.
I'll tell the story about how I personally felt responsible, and I know none of you remember this, but I had walked in on the pregame chat. Like, Aaron would always get you guys together and get you in a huddle and have your, like, private moment. And, like, at the moment you had your private moment, I, like, opened the door. And I was like, hey, guys. And he was like, bleep off. Elsten, bleep off. I was like, and I walked out. And I was like, oh, no, I ruined their mojo. And then you hit the ball into the roof, like, 11 times.
We literally hit the ball, I would say, like, 12, 13 times.
They put helium in the ball, dude. We
Did
figured
it?
out years later.
No, I don't think so. But, dude, like, the roof was, like, low. Like, it was, like, super low. And we couldn't play, like, out of the, like.
We lost the Open Cup because we struggled with the roof. We
Yes.
won the national championship because we had no roof. We played 5 balls over the
Yes.
top of them, and
Every
they didn't know
time.
what was going on because they were used to the ball hitting the roof. And every time we played over the top, we caught them off guard in the championship game a week later or whatever.
Yeah, there was 2 finals against the same team, U.S. Open Cup and the PASL Final Cup. And literally was the same team, right? And you can tell the difference, right? On their field, it was like super low rooftop, and we couldn't, like, we couldn't adjust to it because we were so used to play to Soucy, Kraig, like to the boards, and we were just hitting the roof so many times. I mean, I would say 10, 12, 13 times.
True,
it was
but
frustrating.
As we get to our most exciting and most dramatic highlights. Brian, before we get there, that game was Riley Swift's last game as the Sockers goalkeeper. He was the guy who bombed it into the roof 6 or 7 times that game, doing a regular clearance that would work at Valley View Casino Center or Del Mar Arena. Chris Toth started the semifinal. Chris Toth started the final. That was really the end of the Swift era and the start of the Toth era for the San Diego Sockers. It's weird to think about it, but it's true.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of weird to think about. The transition for us is we always knew it was coming. I think Swift had made the announcement that he was going to be retiring, basically. He'd said it, like, subtly. I don't know if it was, like, written in stone. But I remember in that game in Detroit, the frustration of how many free kicks and how many, like, balls that hit the side net and were, essentially kick-ins. And we were frustrated the entire time, and so it wasn't there was no flow to the game. And I remember that was a huge process. But Riley had a tough one in that game, but that doesn't take anything away from the impact and the what Riley did for us in the previous 4 years, and the games he won and the championships that we won because of Riley. And I think that we all knew that we were in amazing hands either way. So I never thought of it as like, oh no, Riley's retiring and they're giving it to Chris and he's still young, or hey, hurry up and give it to Chris and step aside Riley. It was never that. It was always like, both of these guys are amazing, and we were just, whoever Phil was going to choose, we were going to back him.
And to be clear, we're talking about a 2-time playoff MVP versus a guy who winds up being a 3-time goalkeeper of the year in the league. So you're talking about the best players in the league. But it was a moment. It was one of the most important moments in terms of a change for the San Diego Sockers. What would follow would be a Final Four. RGV Flash, led by Damian Garcia, would take on Detroit Waza Flow in one semifinal. The Sockers would take on the Las Vegas Legends in the second semifinal. Both these games to be played at Valley View Casino Center. Both games would go to sudden death overtime. RGV pushed Detroit to the absolute limit until they won an overtime game. The second game of a classic doubleheader would be one of the great games in soccer's history. San Diego, LV, round 2.
Back to Ricardinho at midfield. First 2 minutes off the second quarter clock, still no score. Now that gets past Rivera, shoots and scores! And the Legends have opened things up as Edgar Nava got past Diego Rivera on the near wall, shot it left-footed into the upper V. Vegas 1, San Diego nothing. One more team foul would be another blue card on the Legends. There's 32 seconds left on this power play. Sockers trailing 1-0. Here's Soucy coming forward. Soucy to Chiles, left wing. Chiles flicking. Velez knocks it down to the midboards. Into the crease. Farber scores! Power play goal, San Diego! Ryan Farber, one touch from Eddie. And we're tied at 1. Oh, the goal they needed, and it came late in the power play. 7:15 to go before halftime. It's Aaron Soucy to Eddie Velez on the near wall, and back to Cheeky Luna. Luna cuts to Soucy. Soucy with a little space for the left foot, but then the ball hopped up on him, and so he chases it into the far corner. Falls down, ball tips out, and Sanchez comes sliding forward to grab it as it rolls into the crease. Zeke throws it out on the near wall. Long ball on one hop. Guzman touches it down on the red line. Guzman steps to the right foot. Shoots short-handed. He scores! Short-handed goal! Las Vegas is on top 2-1 as Guzman scores it. The first short-hander San Diego's allowed all year. And it puts them down 2-1. And back to Antonio Sutton. 4.5 to go in the second quarter. Sockers down 2-1. It's Diego Rivera on the near wall. Gets past a man. Dancing out to midfield with 2 men around him. Plays it on left wing to the defender, Antonio Sutton. Sutton to Zay Roberto coming forward now. Right wing, offensive midfield. To Cheeky on right point. Cheeky into the crease. One touch off the crossbar. Rebound. Score! Zay Roberto! Zayzoo, the goals for you. 2-2. Soucy hit it off the crossbar. He'll get the assist as Roberto came in to clean up the mess. Eddie Velez wins the ball back in the San Diego zone to Soucy. There are 38 seconds left in the Sockers' man advantage. Soucy connects to Velez on right wing. Cuts it out. Chiles shoots. Score! San Diego Sockers power play goal. Who scored it? The MVP, Kraig Chiles. Sockers lead it 3-2. Chiles' power play goal is 11th of the playoffs. Sanchez, the keeper, to Santana midfield. On left wing, it's Nava. High shot off the frame. Charging it on right wing, Sobriera. Rivera takes it away from him. And then Brian tried to flick a high ball out. It missed his foot and came to Santana. Santana to Nava left wing. Nava steps up, plays it down to the goal wall. Goal! Las Vegas! Enrique Tovar on the back post tapped it in. Tovar from Gonzalez. We're tied 3-3. Under 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. We're tied at 3. It's Toth to Zay. Some high pressure shown by Las Vegas. Rivera trying to head the ball to himself. Spins through a man on the near wall with Sutton in front of him. Here comes Diego. Down into the corner. Sutton crosses. Soucy scores! San Diego Sockers goal! El Capitan! Aaron Soucy from Suts. Sockers magic in the last minute again. With 33 seconds in the quarter, San Diego's ahead 4-3. Aaron Soucy, a one-touch in the crease, banged it home, his 6th goal of the playoffs. Tracking him, coming on the near wall. Cheeky and O'Connor are there. Down into the corner, scoops it high off the glass, caroms off a seam of the wall, comes out on right wing to Eric Guzman. Guzman on the mid-boards with Tovar dancing back into the crease, rolls it back out to Uzi Tayu. 12:15 to go in the game. It's Edgar Nava right wing to Guzman on the far wall, coming in on right wing. Tripped by Chiles, who got the ball first. Guzman steps up, shoots and scores! And Chiles is furious. He thought there should have been a foul called. Guzman touched it in. We're tied 4-4. 12:07 the time of goal. Guzman second of the game. Cheeky. Out. Chiles off the frame. Comes out on left wing to Eddie, who stops the ball. Tried to shovel it back into the crease. Blocked by Sobriera. Soucy! Chiles score! Score! What a play! Soucy to Chiles. Made a diagonal run. Touched it in on one try. Sockers lead by 4. 2:23 to play. Oh, KC! Yeah, baby! Chiles, second of the game, 12th of the playoffs. Soucy, the helper. What a pass. What a finish. 5-4 San Diego. And now the goal is empty to my right. 6 attackers. It's not Santana, interesting. It's Eric Guzman that's in the 6th attacker jersey. That surprises me. It's Tovar for the near corner kick. Out to Guzman. Guzman rolls it right wing. The shot. A goal! Barbarato has equalized with 43 seconds left. Sixth attacker goal, Barbarato.
Now back to the San Diego Sockers on ESPN 1700.
Golden goal overtime is underway. The next goal will win this game and send one team to the national championship. The other season will end by fishing the ball out of the back of their net. It's 5-5, San Diego and Las Vegas. Winner to play to Detroit
tomorrow night at 7:30. Loser's season is over. If at the end of 15 minutes nobody scores a golden goal, there will be a shootout to determine this semifinalist champion. Scotty Martin to Nelson, loses it to Nelson Santana, defensive midfield. Two teams going the same direction. Las Vegas left to right, or right to left, I should say. Oh, they did switch sides. Pardon me. That normally does not happen. San Diego's attacking right to left, and Las Vegas left to right. It's Nelson Santana across midfield. Bends one into the left far corner. Enrique Tovar played it off the goal wall, and Scotty Martin takes it away for San Diego. With Chiles jumping off, Soucy coming on. A ball tried to feed through to Aaron. Uzi Tayu takes it at his own red line. First minute is off the overtime clock. It is O'Connor to Zay Roberto coming forward on the near wall. Zay across the red line. Into the near corner he goes. A double team greets him there. Back to Diego. Oh, bends it off the frame. Goal! 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 Cheeky Luna! Cheeky Luna! He kicked it in! A scissor kick! A golden goal! The Suckers win! The Suckers win! They win it! 6-5! Golazo! Suckers magic! Cheeky Luna! Rivera the assist. 13:40, golden goal overtime. San Diego, your Sockers are to the final. Unbelievable. Cheeky diving for a scissor kick. Eddie Coker couldn't have done it better. The San Diego Sockers have never lost on their home pitch. And tomorrow night, they will play the Detroit Waza Flow for the second straight year with the Ron Newman Cup up for grabs. Oh, baby. Thank you, dear. The Sockers win it 6-5. We'll play for a championship tomorrow night. Both games tonight ended 6-5 on golden goals. The best competition in the history of the PASL is just going to get better tomorrow night. You better come on back here, folks. 866-799-GOAL.
One of the amazing games in soccer's history. Honestly, one of the greatest games in soccer's history. Cheeky Luna finishes it off. M5, just your memories of that night.
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime we finish a game like that with, high drama, we knew what was at stake. We're so close to, capping out a successful season, and just to finish that way in front of your home fans, it just was a special finish. A great goal at the end there by Cheeky, and a team win. I just remember, being one game away from playing the final at home, and just an electric atmosphere. And just looking back at this, it just brings back so many memories to get to that point, and just incredible memories there.
Farbs, it's crazy because for the next 5-6 years, Frank Tayu would kind of be your guy's barrier in terms of the guy that would be standing in between you and the championship, the guy that would get the big goal, the guy that would, and he was a rookie that year. Felipe Gonzalez, who is your teammate now and would be a key part of future soccer's teams, was against you in this game, and yet with all of it, I feel like this game is kind of like the crux, the beginning of what would be the rivalries for literally 10 years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Vegas was challenging, and then, they started to take shape, and then they started to get led. I think Tovar going in there, Keeks Tovar going in there and bringing in Felipe, bringing in people that he knows, they can know the game, in the futsal style, and get them to make the same runs. They were dangerous, and he was very good. And I've known those guys since they were young. I knew Juan and Felipe from when they were 16 years old when I was in Stockton. But his impact on the team when House left, and just I think the transition, but Frank and Uzi and Guzman and Zeke and, all of them. I mean, Nelson playing there, and obviously Enrique Tovar being there, it made this a real rivalry, and it was fun. Like, those games were fun. They were it was relief, when we won that game and we got to the final, but going into that, I remember, like, this is going to be a battle.
So the San Diego Sockers, who had won 48 in a row, had found multiple moments to pull games out of the fire, pull moments out in the last second. They were in the championship game against Detroit Waza Flow, a team that had to face RGV in overtime and prevail the night before. From a personal standpoint, I remember having literally no voice for the championship final. I had called 2 previous overtime games. It was the next day. I was done. I was like, guys, give me a 12-3 game. Give me something easy. Instead, we wound up with another classic, a game that would come down to literally the last seconds. Sockers, Detroit, for the second straight year, the 4th straight PASL championship. Highlights now.
Chris Toth, it's headed up to the top of the Detroit crease, crashing in Brian Farber to try and dispossess. Nick Jokai runs it out from his yellow line. The adrenaline surging for both sides. Jokai makes a run on left wing, comes in across the red line. He shoots and scores! And in the opening 30 seconds, Detroit gets a coast-to-coast goal unassisted by Nick Jokai. Unbelievably, the Waza jump out in front 1-0 right away. 28 seconds into the action. Back out instead of shooting on goal. Wilkes on right wing. Deku will take the shot. And a diving save, Chris Toth. Toth comes up with his best save tonight. An all-out extension dive for the 6'3 keeper. He swatted it over the goal glass. Another near corner kick. Long ball into the San Diego zone. Antonio Sutton will get to it before Warte Sampson and head it to his keeper, Chris Toth. Sampson, 6'3", 220 pounds, one of the biggest target forwards in the league. Here's a run ball. It's Paul Wright. Paul Wright has scored. Paul Wright has his first goal since the second half of the season in his last ever arena soccer game. P3 delivers. A magic touch down the middle. You knew he had something left in them legs. Eddie Velez gets the assist. He fed it from in front of the penalty box. A perfect touch. Wright timed his run impeccably, as he's done since he was 19. E3 has equalized for the Sockers. Antonio Sutton will free kick from defensive midfield near wall. Sutton to midfield to Cheeky Luna. Betcha Cheeky's going to take a hard blow at some point here. Long ball, edge of the crease, headed by Chiles, crashing in Reza. He shoots and scores! And the Sockers have the lead. And Aztecs goal, the MVP, Kraig Chiles, and Raimundo delivers! 2-1 San Diego. Velez to Toth, 10 seconds left. Chris bends a long ball out of his zone. Look out! He just conceded a defensive clear. Oh, that's about the only big mistake San Diego could make in that circumstance. Under no pressure, Toth kicked it from inside his defensive zone out of play. That means an automatic top-of-the-crease free kick for the Waza Flow. The best possible free kick scoring chance with just 5.8 seconds left. Now let's see if Detroit wants to call timeout and try and bring a sixth attacker up or not. They do not. Aaron Bird will take this free kick with Sampson in the crease. Bird rolls it left wing. It's Deku. He scores with 4 seconds left. Oh, Toth's mistake winds up in the back of his net. A defensive clear, and Deku with a rocket. He roofed it into the upper V. A minute left in the power play for San Diego. They're over 1 so far tonight on the man advantage. Toth to Cheeky Luna coming forward. Luna, top of the crease. Medina back to Cheeky on right wing. Down to the right wing midboards. It's Velez. Velez clear. Medina scores! The centering pass by Eddie. The finish. M5's got the goal. Sockers lead it 3-2. San Diego with the lead and getting their fans back into this game. 3-2. They're ahead with 8:10 to go in the third quarter. The Waza go to a defensive high-pressure style. Roberto connects a pass to Chiles, who scores! Zezou to Chiles across 2 lines, edge of the crease. Craig turned and made no mistake. And for the first time tonight,
The Sockers lead by 2. 4-2 San Diego. Who got the goal? It's the MVP, Kraig Chiles. That's Chiles' 14th goal of the playoffs. Capinos brings it out and throws it to the near wall. That's where Gattaca and Sutton fight for possession. Gattaca passes it off the side wall to himself. Shoots. One-handed save. Rebound goal. Mickey Jerusalem has put the score back to 1 goal. 4-3. San Diego leading as the one-handed save by Chris Toth, but he couldn't control the rebound, and Jerusalem ran through and cleaned it up. They've got 40 seconds left in the power play, ahead 4-3. Cheeky Luna to Kraig Chiles on the far wall, to Aaron Soucy straight away. Soucy flicking it, it's Velez on the midboards, into the crease, Medina knocked it down, had Quinn on his hip, couldn't get a shot away, rolled it back to Cheeky, to Soucy. Aaron Soucy looking, bends it to the back post, Velez high off the frame, headed by Chiles, on the near post, kicked out by Capinos. And Medina was there as well. Cheeky Luna on right wing, settles a spinning ball. Back out to Aaron Soucy. Soucy flicks it to the back post. Here's Velez. Half-volley goal! El Vaquero! Pull out the pistols and shoot him, Eddie! The Sockers lead 5-3 as Velez will get the sombrero, bring it to midfield. It's time for a sombrero dance. And Scotty Martin joins him for the fun. A power play goal for San Diego. Ball played back to Wilkes at his defensive red line. To Jerusalem. Mickey puts it into the near corner. Sampson steps up to chest, trap, and protect. Turning out to his right foot. Into the crease! A perfect pass, and Bird finishes a one-touch goal. Detroit gets the critical first goal of the fourth quarter. Or the second, I should say, but they get one right back. At 11-10, it's 5-4, a one-goal game. Medina to Soucy in the far corner. Aaron stops the ball with the bottom of his left foot. He's rolling forward on Pollock. A double team comes down. The ball hops out. Rolls out to Medina. Medina shoots. Kick save Capinos. Came out sudden to Medina. He shot and Capinos was up to it. Medina gets it back. Shoots off the right post. Oh, past Capinos. Reza stepping in on the steal. Shot a one-handed save Capinos. Comes out on the side wall to Velez. Velez to O'Connor straight away. Great chances for San Diego. The best off the post by Reza. O'Connor to Cheeky. Flicks it into the far corner. Capinos comes out there, kicks it off the glass, over the head of Quinn. Ducker in front of the San Diego bench for Detroit. Taken away by Cheeky. Two men come crashing down the field. Velez wins it away. Cheeky back to O'Connor, and the Sockers possess. 7:15 to go in the fourth. San Diego leads 5-4. Raise a long ball. Here's Chiles. He hits it off the post and in. He scores! MVP! MVP! Kraig Chiles from Reza. It's 6-4 Sockers. 6:30 to go. DQ. Defensive midfield straight away. To Bird in front of the benches. Rolls it to the top of the crease. Sampson knocks it down at his red line. To right. Flicking it to the edge of the crease. Quick shot and a goal! Mickey Jerusalem! Don't count out the Waza ever! They will fight to the end. And an immediate answer once again by Detroit to cut it to 6-5. Mickey walking it back to Aaron Bird. Bird in front of the Sockers bench, and there's 4.5 minutes. Good through ball to Deku on right wing. He's got space. He cuts to the left foot. He shoots and scores! He scores! We are level! Costa Deku did it again! It is 6-6. It's Aaron Soucy, the southpaw striker. Here he comes. He kicks it into the crease. Oh, a one-touch try by Farber. Went right. Deflected and a goal! Cheeky Luna deflected off the back of Scotty Wright into the net. Cheeky! It's 7-6 San Diego on a lucky break. 4:04 the time of goal unassisted. Is that how San Diego will win a fourth cup?
The ball is blocked to the goal wall. Bird is ball handling there. Far corner, it's Ducker. Ducker tips it to Jerusalem. Touched by Roberto, but he couldn't get it out. Wilkes saves. Back to Jerusalem. Jerusalem across. Deku on left wing. Here's Costa. Deku stepping to the right foot. Fakes a shot. Fakes again. Tips again to the right foot. He can't get a shot away. And then his attempted shot was blocked by Luna. There's a minute 20 to go. After the 6th attacker, Wilkes. Wilkes stops the ball and cuts it on right wing to Mickey. Mickey is standing on the ball. Back to Wilkes. Minute 15 to go. Sockers lead 7-6. Down to the back post. And Bird hit it off the crossbar. Bird off the crossbar. Roberto flicks it up to midfield. And Wilkes will settle it down. A minute to play in the championship. Sockers up 7-6. It's Jerusalem. Jerusalem to Sampson at the red line. Sampson with Rivera on him. Wilkes tips to Mickey right wing. To the midboards, Ducker. Back to Mickey with 50 seconds to play. In front of his bench, having to walk it out with Farber pressuring. Cheeky heads it away at the crease. And Farber touches it. Ryan down the middle of the field. He scores! The game winner! The championship winner! The Sockers will win the title! The Sockers will win the title! They will win their 4th in a row as Brian Farber from defensive midfield into an empty goal. The Sockers are going to do it! Oh, baby! Brian Farber against 6 attackers gets the job done. There's 35 seconds left. Bird, down low. Lopez, protecting the near post. Toth punches it into the goal glass. 30 seconds to play. And all the way down the field, into an empty goal. Here it goes. It's hopping slowly wide to the right. There are 17 seconds left. Everyone standing. Everyone on their feet. 3,336 in the house. It's Deku with 7 seconds. Kicked out by Martin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's all over! Full time elapsed. 60 minutes complete. And the greatest team in the history of indoor soccer adds another cup to their collection. 4 straight championships for the San Diego Sockers as they defeat Detroit by a final score of 8-6. The confetti is flying.
4,287 at Valley View Casino Center for the semifinal. 3,376 for the championship game. And in the final seconds, as the confetti rained down, these were the moments as the Sockers won their 4th straight PASL title.
It's sweet. It is sweet. You know, winning a championship never gets old, but I think this is the best one yet. Most competitive league thus far, and credit to Detroit. They're a great team. I know we'll see them again a couple games next year. It'll be a battle.
Talent in this league is getting a lot harder every season. Just from what you saw in the semifinals, the 2 overtime games, we're very happy that we got this win for the city and for another one for this organization.
If you win this league this year, you are definitely the best. This year was some great competition with Dallas, RGV, Detroit, freaking Vegas. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I dreamt about this all year long. We worked hard for it as a team. This is how I wanted it to end, and to have it end just the way we planned it all year long, it's just the best thing in the world. I can't imagine. I'm just so happy right now. I left it all on the field. I can leave this game proud of what I accomplished, proud of what I'm leaving behind, because this team is in good hands. They're going to do just fine without me.
Truly one of the most special moments in my life, and I feel fair in saying for all the guys in the panel here tonight, winning that 4th straight title, 2012-2013, Soccer's Magic, champions 8-6. And Brian, your thoughts right there, hearing Paul Wright saying, this is the way I wanted to go out. This is the right way. He literally came out of the O that night wearing his 1991 jersey underneath his 2013 jersey.
That was just P, right? Like he has a different way about him, and that was why we brought him back. And it was originally why they brought him back, right? When you go into the sports arena, you have to have Paul Wright on the team, and it was storybook ending for him and his career. Him putting away that goal and getting us the momentum back after we had just lost it. I remember that moment very vividly, and I remember thinking, like, he just doesn't have it in him to lose. He does not want to lose. And we have other guys on the team that are the same way, but there was something special about Paul and his ability to, like, be an impact player at any moment when you needed him to step up.
You know, Kraig, when I think about that year, the previous year, the Sockers had shown their dominance over indoor soccer. You went 24-0. You beat everyone in front of you. But 2012-13 was the year that the league was catching up to you. It was getting close. Dallas was able to beat you in overtime. They almost beat you again. Las Vegas almost beat you twice. Detroit they beat you on the road, and at home they had you tied with 4 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. And for years to follow, the Sockers would be chasing that championship. It would be a semifinal away, would be a goal away from being able to be there. But this was the year where you guys kept them one step ahead. Soccer's Magic. With seconds to go in so many games, you kept them one step ahead.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, honestly, it's a fantastic year when you look at all those games compiled together. You know, it kind of blends together after so many years, and it's nice to see it all together. And you know, I remember that first championship at the sports arena as a very special moment, I think, for the whole organization, and being back in that building and having Paul bridge the gap between, you know, old school and new school. And so we were just thrilled to be able to lift the cup at our home field and do it at the sports arena in the first year we got over there. And the truth was, I think, as a panel and players that played in the league a long time and being a member of the San Diego Soccer's organization, it was important to push the game of indoor soccer to the next level, you know, as players, as a collective unit, as an organization. You know, it wasn't just our goal to win, but our goal was to showcase our sport and put our sport in a national light a little bit. And I think this was a big step in the right direction for our league in general and the sport in general. And it was, you know, a blessing to be part of it.
Last thing for you guys as we wrap up. The Soccer's next championship would come a different decade, 2021. A COVID championship. For years, San Diego would come up one step short, a semifinal game away, an overtime goal away. But the first 4 years of the restart of this franchise were all championship games. And I'd like to start with Eddie and just go down the line. Phil Salvaggio, the owner, the GM early, the coach of this team. What did he mean to you, your life, to see this run a record, a U.S. professional record winning streak, 4 championships. What did it mean to you?
Well, I mean, to me especially, he just been such an impact in my life and in my family's life, right? I said that in the previous segment. Being part of the...
Don't worry, they can only hear you.
Okay. Being part of this, I mean, all this winning streak and in this case, 2 championships for me. It was amazing. And Phil just came in to change my life, to be honest, for the good. And I'm still learning from him and from every single guy that is right next to me right now. I mean, they're just amazing guys, and I've been blessed to be in part of Phil's life, and obviously to have Phil in my life too.
Brian, you're one of the guys who could have been on a different team, could have been on a different path, and instead you're still here and you're still part of this legacy and you're still collecting championship rings. What does Phil mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to put into one statement, but he's the reason that I'm still here in San Diego. My wife and I, we have 2 kids. He made a huge impact on our entire family and our ability to survive and make it and get through steps in life, believing in me, bringing me in. And then, for me, it was like I always felt I wouldn't call it weight, but like I always wanted to, deliver on why he was willing to do that. But people ask me over time, just because, my wife works for Califino and it's, it's all in the family, and they ask sometimes like, oh, I've heard of Phil, but who is this guy? And I try to explain. You can't really explain who he is. I just say that he's a very special human being, and that the way that he brings people into his circle and into his family and looks out for his own is unique. And that, like Eddie said, it's a bit of a blessing to have Phil in our lives, and I think he's made the same impact for everybody on this team at one point or another. And I love Phil. Put it that way.
M5, outside of Frank Pedretti commercials, you still have established yourself as a legend in this arena. 48 wins. You were a part of all 48. 4 championships. You were a part of all 4 of those wins. When you just think back to that era of your career, how did Phil impact it?
I'm still seeking some royalties on those commercials that are going forward. And actually, yeah.
I think your bike skills are still right there, man.
I actually got injured on the commercial doing that, for my back, doing that. 20 takes later. Looking back, I mean, that part of my life personally and the soccer's coming back and being able to prolong my career, because I was, ready to stop playing, coming from an outdoor career. But that being able to prolong my playing career is something I'll always be thankful for, doing something that I love and passionate about, and continuing on for the next 10 years. When I said I'll do it for a couple years and just was able to keep that going, is something I'll be forever thankful for Phil and that opportunity, and especially the soccer's a franchise that I grew up, going to games with my family and cousins, and just a special opportunity that I've always been grateful for, and held close to my my heart, and just thankful, deeply thankful to be part of that.
And just to close it out with at this point, 3-time consecutive PASL MVP. I mean, Kraig, obviously Phil Salvaggio was still a huge part of your life. You're still teammates and collaborators and compadres in everything that you do. But when you think back to those moments and to just how it formed over the first 4 years, what do you think?
We joke sometimes, and I have him thank me for, establishing his coaching career for him by kicking so many balls in the goal. But, the truth is we gave a little bit of tactical leeway for the family atmosphere that we wanted, right? And so we weren't going to have an X's and O talkboard chalk that was going to tactically improve us in a dramatic fashion. But at the same time, we were going to build that family relationship where you really built a camaraderie with your teammates, and you were going to fight and give everything for one another. And so, Phil really helped install that in a lot of us, and it's still something that we continue on. It is, once you're part of the circle or the brotherhood, you're really part of it, and he'll take care of you in every way he can, and he expects the same giving back. And historically, you've looked back on it, and, players have come and not wanted to leave, and it's been tough decisions, players that weren't performing, that loved being in the family, that, he had to make that tough call on and did. But, once you're in the circle, you're in the circle, and he deeply looks after everybody within his crew, and we all are indebted and deeply appreciate everything he does. For not only us as individuals, but, the sport in general of indoor soccer, the franchise of the San Diego Sockers, it is all something that he has, built and grown. And, we're all thankful for what he's done.
4 straight championships, 48 straight wins, a legacy reestablished, a Valley View Casino Center back with 4,000+ fans cheering on the indoor champions in San Diego. None of it would have happened without the gentlemen who have joined me on this panel tonight. Kraig Chiles, Anthony Medina, Brian Farber, Eduardo Velez. 3 of the 4 of you still playing to this day. Unbelievable. Anthony.
He still could.
It's the Ironman.
You can get in there.
I got a couple shifts. Anthony can still play, man.
D-runner, I don't know. Power play, set piece, maybe.
Yes. Pivot.
For years to come, the Sockers would be banging against that door, but the league had caught up to them. And whether it was Las Vegas or Monterey or Sonora, there would be frustration, semifinal losses, agony as the years progressed. But this franchise could not be where they are today without 4 straight championships to begin the run. The MASL championships to final, the MASL championships to follow, those will be panels for another day. We're going to let you guys get a little bit older.
Nice.
Before we get to there. Because I don't know. Is it going to be 2 in a row? 3, 4, 5, 6? Hang on. We'll get there down the road. But we're done right now. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, guys, for being a part of this retrospective over the course of the summer 2022 of our PASL 4 straight championships. Eddie Velez, Brian Farber, Anthony Medina, Kraig Chiles, thank you all for your time, your thoughts, your insight.
Got it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Kraig. Thank you, Yari.
Thank you, Kraig.
Our producer and director is the estimable Gerardo Jerry Jimenez. My name is Kraig Elsten. Thank you so much for your followership. Please give us that thumbs up. Continue to subscribe to us here on YouTube. And we'll be back with you with the preseason for 2022-23. This has been the Championships panel from the Calafino Supplement Lounge. For all of the above, I'm Kraig Elsten. Go Sockers.